Hey guys, Stealth here. It's Monday, so welcome to the War Room, and this will be episode 27. Now, it's going to be a bit of a shorter episode than usual. Got a lot on my mind, not all of which I will bother you with. First off, starting last week, I did a lot of networking events. I believe I mentioned this last week as well. There is a lot of networking going on just to get the word out for my company, but I gotta say, it is not easy. Especially because I don't know exactly who I want as my target audience. Do I want to target larger corporates? Do I want to target just smaller entrepreneurs who can really use help with their personal appearance, their personal body language? It's something that I am really struggling with. Not only last week, but pretty much the last few months. And it feels like, I don't know, there's just no money in body language. This is something that I have been known to do. I usually just go after let's say a business, or I go after what I find interesting, and then I try to wrap a business around it, which of course is not the right way to do it. What you want to do is do it the other way around. Find a problem and wrap a business around it. And I know that this is the way it's done. I've been in this game for 6 years, especially with online marketing, but lately also with the body language stuff. And I thought there would be a demand for body language, but it's what's called a passive demand, or it's a demand that people don't know they have. Which means that you first have to educate people that they even have a demand. And that is something that I'm struggling with. Do I need to repackage the body language as a solution for something else? Because what I need is for people to actually look for a solution to their issue without me having to tell them that they have an issue in the first place. I mean, let's say that you have a broken leg. You go to a doctor. That's a bit extreme, but that's the level of activity that I want for my people, or that I want for my clients. Go and seek out the solution instead of me having to tell you that you have a broken leg and that it might require fixing. So stuff like that is, I gotta say, it's really keeping me up at night. I get a lot less sleep through it, and it's just constantly going through my head, no matter what I'm doing. That's why there haven't been as many videos, but I suppose you could say there are more videos than usual. Because for me, it's a way to cool down a little bit and slightly bury my head in the sand, if I'm honest. Sometimes you just wanna, get away from it all. And this is my way of doing that. Wargame, Factorio, Fallout 4 is what I've been playing lately. A lot of World of Warships as well. I got a very nice replay coming up for you tomorrow on that. So, mostly the business stuff is keeping me up. There are so many ways that you can look at building a business. Like I said, do you go for a market where you know there's a demand, but that you know nothing about? Do you go for a group of people that you find easy to reach, that you are one of? Let's say that you're an excellent mountain climber and you enjoy doing that in your spare time, and you know which kind of which kind of climbing shoes are best. You can start a business around climbing consulting, or maybe organize climbing trips for businesses, or become a climbing coach, whatever. I don't really know anything about that business, but something like that. It's an easy to access group, and there might be a demand. There are also going to be people who like to learn how to climb. Now, suppose you could say there are always going to be people who like to learn how to play Wargame, but there really aren't that many. I mean, it's a really difficult game to get into, and I gotta say, I have done it in the past, but it is very uncommon to get paid for coaching people to get better at a game. I have done it for Wargame, of all games, and I gotta say, it was very unusual. It was a first for me. Can I wrap a business around it? I rather doubt it. Anyway, that's one way of looking at it. Do you, for example, have a look at what kind of business you can start by looking at what companies may need? And in that respect, do you, for example, go for larger companies which may have logistical issues or administrative issues? You become a consultant. But do you know anything about that group? One of my clients, for example, was a senior manager at a large investment bank. And I gotta say, he was pretty much my favorite client. He was really open to what I had to share. He really, really benefited from it. But I knew absolutely nothing about the financial sector. Now, is that a bad thing? Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that it makes it hard to reach new clients. No, in the sense that it makes it so that, I suppose you could say I'm coming in fresh, and the amount or the type of knowledge that I spread to my target audience doesn't require any intimate knowledge of any kind of financial business or financial markets. So you got all these different people saying different things. You got Michael Port, who's written a book called Book Yourself Solid, on how to become a very highly wanted or highly desired trainer or coach. He goes for the, let's say the way in of going, okay guys, you have to be laser specific about your target audience. In Wargame terms, be very specific about the type of map you're going to play and then adjust your deck towards it. Because a deck that may do very well on an open map like this in Asgard may not do very well down here in the middle. So, he says, pick your niche or pick your target audience extremely specifically and work from there. Sure, but who do you pick? How do you pick? Which people do you pick? I really, really don't know. Then there's Ramit Sethi, who's an author, wrote or is still writing for I Will Teach You to Be Rich, a very, very well-known entrepreneurs and freelancers blog. And he says, well, first off, you need to do a bit of market research. Is there a demand for your service? And if yes, who is it? Again, good questions, and I don't really know. So all of these things, I don't know, it's a bit like analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis. You know so many things, you know what you should be doing, but you have so many options that you end up not doing anything, simply because you're paralyzed by all the choice that you have. So, that's been keeping me up at night. If you have any useful insights to help me along with that, I would really appreciate that. Not only for my business, but also to help me sleep better. Anyway, a note about Factorio. I noticed that it was barely getting any views, so I've decided to stop that series. I do find views interesting, I do find them important, and I want to continue to grow my channel. When I started Factorio, it was just for fun. I thought it was a very, very interesting game in the sense that it was completely different from the games that I've played so far. It would be an interesting learning experience, both for me and for you guys. So that's why I put up a few tutorial videos, put up a few Let's Plays, but it is just not getting any views. So those who enjoyed the Factorio series, thank you for watching, but for now I am going to stop recording there because apparently there, to speak in market terms, there is no demand for it. As for other games that you can expect, as mentioned, a World of Warships replay tomorrow, more Wargame 2nd Korean War revised mod this week. I think we're going to wrap up this campaign in, well, maybe a few more episodes. I won't be taking that long. So I should be pretty fast with that. And then, good question, what's going to come next? I gotta say, sometimes I'm just getting tired of Wargame. Because sometimes it feels like I'm playing Wargame for a job. In the sense that I do the replays, I do the zombie defense decks, I do the mystery decks. But sometimes I'm finding myself sitting in a lobby and I just go, oh, I really don't feel like playing this. So that's why there haven't been that many of the mystery decks or zombie defense decks or replays. By all means, if you want to show me your replay, do send it in. I store it in my mailbox. I usually don't look at them right up until the point that I need them. If you really want to get it covered, you'd best go through my Patreon campaign. If you really, absolutely want to have that thing covered on my channel. Otherwise, I'm not too likely to take up any new Wargame replays, because I still have a lot of them in my inbox. And resending them is just going to clutter my inbox. There's really no point in that. So what have I been busy with otherwise? Well, TV mostly. A few days ago my girlfriend started watching Outlander, which is a very interesting show. It's a show about a nurse, a World War II, or actually post-World War II nurse, age supposedly 27, but I looked up the actress, she's 36, so they cast her well. She is going through Scotland on a tour with her husband, and she comes up to these, I'm not really sure what they're called, ritual stones maybe? It's a bit like Stonehenge, only slightly different. And at some point she touches one of these stones and gets transported back through time to, I think, 1720-ish. So she gets beamed back about 120 years. And she has to survive there, and it's interesting because at some point she knows a lot more about what's going to happen. I mean, she studied history in school, so she knows what's going to happen. And this, of course, makes her something of a witch to the people there. It makes her very unusual, very unpredictable. And with that, it leaves a lot of interesting adventures for her to happen. I believe I'm not sure if it has been turned into an HBO show, but it is definitely that quality. So if you want to check that out, it's at least here in the Netherlands on Netflix, Outlander. Other shows, well, of course, there's Game of Thrones tonight. Season 6 is starting tonight. So we got that to look forward to. I'm definitely going to watch that. And some other shows are going to start up or get another season. Person of Interest, unfortunately only getting one more season, which is season 5. It got cancelled, and that's why there's not going to be a season 6. Big mistake as far as I'm concerned, but apparently they think different. And there's another show that I have been enjoying a while ago, and another season's coming out for that soon. It's called Penny Dreadful. It's on the edges of, I suppose you could call it horror / mystery / adventure. Setting is the Victorian age. So let's say, I believe, early 1800s, where there is a sort of shadow realm and some, I wouldn't call it devil worship, but definitely a fight going on between good and evil. That's something that I find very interesting as well. Again, on Netflix, show should be up soon. Anyway, to wrap up this war room with some questions that you guys sent in. Mesa sent in, hey, are we going to see some more Semeno on your channel? If you're not familiar with that, it's Command Modern Air and Naval Ops. Maybe I'm going to go into that. Again, it didn't get that many views, and I do want to keep growing this channel. So I'm going to have to go into some more popular games, and World of Warships might be it. You're still going to get ships that way, just in a very different format from Command Modern Naval Air Operations. Other question that came in is, have you checked out Crossouts? Smeden 3 sent that in. It's real fun. I haven't seen it yet. It's apparently a show, or sorry, not a show, it's a game by Gaijin. Now, I have been hearing stuff about Gaijin that I gotta say is... how shall I put this? I played War Thunder a bit. It's a pretty good game. I didn't continue with it because there were other games that I found more interesting and more worthy of my time. But what I did find was that, especially with Jingo's experience, Gaijin tends to be a little bit authoritarian of their content. If you say anything wrong about them, they're not going to like it at all. So I may have a look at Crossout. Being a YouTuber, I can get a review key for the game, a beta key. But is it really something that I can talk freely about, or are they going to kick me out of their subscriber program or their YouTuber community outreach program? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I will look at it. I'll request a key. And if you have any experience with the game, let me know, because I'm interested in seeing what kind of experiences you've had in this game. Is it any good? Is it worth it? Is it rubbish? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. And that's pretty much it for this week's War Room. As mentioned, a little bit more condensed than usual, but hopefully no less quality than usual. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.